We live in a culture that worships the innovator. We build statues to the inventor. We tell our children, be original, be a pioneer, do something no one has ever done before. We glorify the lion, the king of beasts, the noble hunter who kills his own prey. And we look down on the vulture, the hyena, the jackal. We call them scavengers. We call them dirty. We call them thieves. I'm here to tell you that this is propaganda. This is a lie told by the lions to keep the competition away from the kill. In the cold, hard mathematics of energy, the lion is a fool and the vulture is a genius. Today, we are going to dissect the scavenger protocol. We are going to prove that the fastest, safest, and most intelligent path to wealth is not to create something new, but to feed on what is already dead, dying, or discarded by others. We are going to teach you how to stop trying to be original and start trying to be full. Let's look at the thermodynamics of the hunt. Consider the lion. To eat, the lion must find a herd of buffalo. He must stalk them for hours. He must sprint at maximum speed, burning massive calories. He must tackle a 2,000-pound beast that is fighting back with horns and hooves. The lion has a failure rate of 80%. That means 8 out of 10 times, the lion expends massive energy and gets nothing. And even when he wins, he risks injury. A broken leg for a predator means death. Now consider the vulture. The vulture glides on thermals, warm air currents. He barely flaps his wings. He burns almost zero energy. He watches the lion do the work. He waits. When the lion is done eating the prime meat, he leaves. The vulture descends. He eats the rest. The vulture has a success rate of nearly 100%. He carries zero risk of injury. The buffalo is already dead. His return on investment, calories in versus calories out, is infinitely higher than the lion's. In the business world, the lion is the innovator, the startup founder who tries to invent a new market. He burns millions of dollars. He works 100-hour weeks. He risks bankruptcy, and 90% of the time, he fails. The vulture is the smart capitalist. He watches the innovator fail, he waits, and then he buys the assets for pennies on the dollar. Or he watches the innovator succeed, waits for the market to be proven, and then enters with a copycat product that is cheaper and better. Microsoft did not invent the mouse. Xerox did. Apple did not invent the MP3 player. Facebook did not invent social networking. MySpace did. They scavenged. They took an existing kill, refined it, and ate the meat. Originality is expensive. Adaptation is profitable. This brings us to the first mover disadvantage. You have heard of the first mover advantage. This is largely a myth. The first mover takes the arrows. The second mover takes the land. The first mover has to educate the market. He has to convince people they need this new thing that is expensive. The scavenger enters a market that is already educated. He doesn't have to explain why you need a smartphone. He just has to explain why his is better. In the creator economy, this is critical. Most of you are trying to be original. You are trying to invent a new niche. You are trying to create a video style that no one has ever seen, and you are getting 50 views. Why? Because there is no demand for your originality. The scavenger looks at what is already working. He looks for the dead trends, or rather the trends that the lions have abandoned but are still nutritious. He looks at a viral video format from 2 years ago that everyone forgot, and he brings it back. He looks at a thumbnail style that works in the gaming niche, and he steals it for the finance niche. He is not creating. He is arbitraging. He is moving value from one place to another. This requires zero ego. The lion has ego. I killed this. The vulture has no ego. The vulture has a full belly. You have to decide what you want. Do you want to be admired for your art, or do you want to be rich? If you want to be rich, you must kill the artist and birth the scavenger. Let's talk about the biology of detritus. In nature, nothing is wasted. When a tree falls, fungi eat the wood. When an animal dies, beetles eat the flesh. Bacteria eat the rest. These organisms are the cleaners of the ecosystem. Without them, the forest would be choked with dead bodies. In the economy, the scavenger performs a noble function: optimization. There are thousands of dead businesses and dead channels out there. They are dead not because the market is bad, but because the operator was incompetent. The lion, the founder, killed the prey, started the business, but he didn't know how to eat it properly. He left the best parts. The scavenger comes in. He buys the failing business. He optimizes the operations. He cuts the fat. He monetizes the email list that the founder ignored. He extracts value from the waste. This is how private equity works. This is how holding companies work. They don't invent, they clean up, and they make billions. You need to develop vulture vision. Most people look at a saturated market and see no opportunity. Oh, there are too many fitness channels. It's too late. The scavenger looks at a saturated market and sees proven demand. Look at all these fat lions leaving meat on the table. Look at all these fitness channels with terrible audio, bad thumbnails, and no back-end products. I can eat here. A saturated market is a buffet for a scavenger because there is so much biomass. A blue ocean, empty market, is a desert. There is no competition, but there is also no food. Stop looking for the blue ocean. Go to the red ocean. Go where the blood is. That is where the sharks are feeding. And where the sharks feed, there are scraps for the clever fish. We need to address the moral stigma of copying. You have been taught that copying is cheating. In school, if you looked at your neighbor's paper, you were punished. In the real world, if you look at your neighbor's paper, market research, you are rewarded. Picasso said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." What did he mean? He meant that true mastery is not about pulling an idea out of the void. It is about taking an existing idea and executing it with such ferocity that it becomes yours. The scavenger does not just copy-paste, that is a parasite. The scavenger consumes and transforms. When you eat a steak, your body breaks it down and turns it into your muscle. You don't become a cow, you become a human fueled by cow. When you take a business model or a content format and you execute it with your energy, your voice, and your specific angle, it becomes yours. Don't be afraid to use templates. Don't be afraid to use scripts that work. Don't be afraid to model your success after someone else's. Evolution itself is a copying machine. DNA copies itself. Sometimes it makes a mistake, mutation, and that is innovation. But 99.9% of life is just successful copying. If nature doesn't have a problem with it, why do you? Get over your need to be special. Being special is for children. Being effective is for adults. The scavenger protocol relies on pattern recognition. The lion relies on strength. The vulture relies on sight. Vultures can spot a carcass from miles away. You need to train your eyes to spot the carcass of opportunity. What does a carcass look like in the digital age? The one-hit wonder channel. A channel that had one viral video and then died. The audience is there, but the creator gave up. Opportunity. Buy the channel or copy the viral format. The high views, low monetization. Niche. A niche where people get millions of views but don't sell anything. Opportunity. Enter the niche and sell a product. The abandoned trend. A topic that was hot 3 years ago. Everyone thinks it's dead. But the human need behind it, e.g., weight loss, making money, never dies. Opportunity. Rebrand the trend. The lazy monopoly. A company that dominates a niche but treats its customers badly because it has no competition. Opportunity. Clone their product and add good customer service. The scavenger scans the horizon. He does not look for new. He looks for inefficient. Inefficiency is your food. Whenever you see someone doing a bad job at something profitable, that is your dinner bell. So the first step in the scavenger protocol is to stop hunting. Stop trying to come up with the next big idea. Stop trying to be the next Steve Jobs. Sit down, quiet your ego, and look at the ground. Look at what is already lying there, waiting to be picked up. There are fortunes lying on the floor of the internet, disguised as boring businesses, dead trends, and saturated markets. The lions are too proud to touch them. The sheep are too scared to touch them. This leaves the feast for you, but you have to be willing to get your hands dirty. You have to be willing to be called a copycat. You have to be willing to let others take the glory while you take the cash. Are you ready to be the hyena? We have established that the lion is a fool who burns energy, and the scavenger is a genius who conserves it. But how does a scavenger actually hunt in the digital jungle? You are not looking for a physical buffalo carcass. You are looking for inefficiency. The internet is a graveyard of good ideas executed poorly. It is a boneyard of abandoned projects, forgotten trends, and lazy creators. Most people see this graveyard and see trash. The scavenger sees parts. He acts like a hermit crab. The hermit crab does not grow its own shell. Growing a shell requires massive amounts of calcium and energy. Instead, the hermit crab finds an empty shell left behind by a dead snail. He slides inside. He gets instant protection with zero biological cost. In the digital world, you must find your shell. Do not build a format from scratch. Find a format that someone else built, which is currently sitting empty or underutilized, and slide your business inside. Let's look at Tactic 1, the cross-species viral heist. This is the most potent weapon in the scavenger's arsenal. Most creators are trapped in their own niche. A cooking channel only watches other cooking channels. A finance guy only watches finance guys. This creates an echo chamber of boring. Everyone copies everyone else in the same circle. The scavenger looks outside the circle. He looks at the gaming niche. Why? Because gamers are the most competitive attention hunters on earth. They have optimized thumbnails and editing to a psychotic degree. The scavenger takes a thumbnail style from a Minecraft video, high contrast, big face, arrow, curiosity gap, and applies it to a real estate video. This is evolutionary leap. You are taking a gene that evolved in one environment and introducing it to a new environment where it has no natural predators. When you bring gaming pacing to educational content, you dominate. You didn't invent the pacing. You scavenged it. You stole the fire from the gods and brought it to the mortals. This applies to languages too. There is a concept called geo-arbitrage arbitrage. If a video format goes viral in America, it will go viral in Brazil, Russia, and Germany. It is a mathematical certainty. Human psychology is the same everywhere. The scavenger watches the US trends. He sees a new challenge video explode. He immediately films the exact same video in Spanish. He is not creative. He is a time traveler. He knows the future of his market because he looked at the present of another market. This is how the hyena thinks. The hyena watches where the herd is moving. Tactic 2. The zombie resurrection. The internet is full of The Walking Dead, channels with 100,000 subscribers that haven't posted in 3 years. Instagram pages with huge followings that are inactive. Domains that have high authority but broken websites. The lion, the original creator, got bored, or he got burned out, or he ran out of money. He did the hard work of gathering the audience, and now he is letting the asset rot. The scavenger reaches out. Hey, I see you haven't posted in a while. Can I buy your channel? Can I manage your back end? You can pick up digital real estate for pennies on the dollar. You are buying the skeleton. The bones are good. The audience is there. They are just sleeping. All you have to do is inject some fresh meat content into the skeleton, and it walks again. This is infinitely easier than starting from zero. Why birth a baby when you can adopt a grown man? This sounds predatory. It is. But remember, the asset was dying anyway. You are saving it. You are the cleaner. Now, you might be asking, how do I find these opportunities? The internet is too big. This brings us to the sensory apparatus. A vulture can spot a dead mouse from thousands of feet in the air. A shark can smell a drop of blood in 1,000,000 gallons of water. They have evolved superior senses. You are blind. You are walking through the jungle, bumping into trees. You don't know where the gold is. You need a radar. I have spent 12 years building this radar. I have built a system of analytics, AI scanners, and pattern recognition protocols that light up the map. I know which niches are dying and which are just sleeping. I know which thumbnails are statistically guaranteed to get clicks. I have packaged this sensory system into the $260 protocol. Think of this $260 not as a course, but as a bionic eye. Without it, you are looking at the world with human eyes. You see chaos. With it, you see the matrix. You see the code. You see the heat map of money. The protocol teaches you how to scan the comment section of your competitors. The lion ignores the comments. He's too busy roaring. The scavenger reads the comments. The comments are full of people saying, I wish you talked about X. Why didn't you explain why? This video was too long. That is demand. That is people begging to be fed. The lion left that meat on the bone. You scrape it off. You make the video about X. You make the video about Y. You are monetizing the dissatisfaction of your competitor's audience. You are literally feeding on his waste, and the audience loves you for it. They think you are a genius. You are not a genius. You are just listening when others are talking. Let's dismantle the laziness myth. Society tells you that taking the easy way is lazy. Don't take shortcuts. Let me ask you a question. Does a river flow over the mountain? No. The river flows around the mountain. It follows the path of least resistance. Is the river lazy? No. The river is efficient. Gravity is the law of the universe. Gravity dictates that energy seeks the most efficient path. When you try to be a lion, inventing everything from scratch, fighting every battle, you're fighting gravity. You're trying to flow up the mountain. The scavenger flows down. He uses the gravity of the market to his advantage. If a trend is already moving, he jumps in the river. He doesn't try to dig a new river. My protocol, 260, is the map of the river. It shows you where the current is fastest. It shows you where you can float to victory instead of swimming against the tide. Is it lazy to use a map? Is it lazy to use a compass? Or is it strategic intelligence? The person who calls you lazy is usually the person who is sweating, bleeding, and broke. Let them enjoy their hard work. You enjoy the profit. Tactic 3. The marrow extraction. Back-end scavenging. Sometimes the lion eats the meat but leaves the bones. Inside the bones is the marrow. It is the most nutrient-dense part of the animal. In business, the meat is the ad revenue, views. The marrow is the back-end, data, emails, upsells. Many viral creators are starving lions. They get 10 million views a month, but they are broke because they rely on YouTube AdSense. They don't have a product. They don't have an email list. The scavenger approaches them. He doesn't want the views. He wants the marrow. He says, you keep making videos. I will build a product for your audience. We split the profit. The creator agrees because he is lazy and doesn't understand business. You build a simple PDF, a course, or a merchandise line using the AI tools in my protocol. You plug it into his traffic stream. Suddenly, you are making $50,000 a month from his work. He is the one stressing about the algorithm. He is the one burning out. You are just collecting the checks. You are the symbiote. You attach yourself to the host and extract value. But unlike a parasite that kills the host, you actually help him survive by giving him money. But make no mistake, you are the smart one in the relationship. You own the customer data. He just owns the attention. Attention is fleeting. Data is forever. The protocol teaches you how to build these marrow extraction systems. It teaches you how to crack the bone without breaking your teeth. The psychology of the hyena. To execute this, you need to kill your need for approval. Lions want to be loved. They want to be the king of the jungle. Hyenas don't care if they are loved. They care if they are fed. Hyenas laugh. Why do they laugh? Maybe they are laughing at the lions. They are laughing at the stupidity of honor. They are laughing at the inefficiency of pride. When you adopt the scavenger protocol, you become immune to criticism. People will say, "You're just copying." You say, "Yes, and it's working." People will say, "You have no original ideas." You say, "My bank account doesn't care." You judge yourself by a different metric. The metric is survival. The metric is growth. The metric is, did I feed my tribe today? If the answer is yes, then how you got the food is irrelevant. History is written by the victors, not by the original people. Rome copied Greece. The Renaissance copied the classics. America copied the British legal system. Civilization is a scavenger hunt. We are all standing on the shoulders of giants, picking lice out of their hair and eating them. Admit it, embrace it, and get good at it. So are you ready to stop starving? Are you ready to stop chasing the buffalo and risking your life? The sky is full of vultures. They are circling. They see something you don't see. They see the opportunity. If you want to join them in the air, if you want the bionic eye, you need the protocol. The $260 is the price of admission to the feast. The lion pays with blood. The scavenger pays with intelligence. Which currency do you want to spend? We have talked about eating the meat and eating the marrow. Now we must talk about eating the poison. In nature, the vulture has a stomach acid so powerful, pH 1.0, that it can digest anthrax, cholera, and botulism. It can eat meat that is rotting, infested with maggots, and toxic to any other animal, and it converts that toxicity into flight. This is the ultimate superpower of the scavenger, the digestion of negativity. In the digital economy, poison comes in many forms: hate comments, cancel culture, market crashes, and drama. The lion, the fragile ego, is terrified of poison. If a lion gets cancelled, he starves. If a lion gets hate, he gets depressed. The scavenger feeds on the poison. Let's analyze the alchemy of hate. Most creators block haters. They try to create a safe space. This is weak. This is biologically inefficient. The scavenger understands how the algorithm works. The algorithm is a machine that measures emotion. It does not care if the emotion is love or hate. It only measures the intensity of the reaction. A comment that says, "I hate you, you are a scammer," counts exactly the same as a comment that says, "I love you, you are a genius." Actually, the hate comment is more valuable. Why? Because hate provokes a response. Other people will reply to defend you. The hater will reply back. Suddenly, you have a 50-comment thread. The algorithm sees this and says, "This content is engaging. Show it to 100,000 more people." The scavenger does not run from controversy. He engineers it. He intentionally leaves a mistake in the video so people will correct him. Engagement farming. He intentionally takes a polarizing stance to trigger the moral judges. He uses the negative energy of the mob to power his own engine. This is judo. You use the opponent's weight against him. When someone attacks you, you don't block them. You pin their comment to the top. You monetize their anger. You turn their vitriol into your views. This requires an iron stomach. You cannot have a fragile ego. You cannot care what the sheep say. If you get triggered, you lose. If you digest it, you win. This brings us to the concept of anti-fragility. Nassim Taleb defined anti-fragile as something that gains from disorder. A glass cup is fragile. If you drop it, stress, it breaks. A plastic cup is robust. If you drop it, it stays the same. A biological muscle is anti-fragile. If you stress it, lift weights, it grows stronger. The lion is fragile. He requires a very specific set of conditions to survive. He needs large prey. He needs open savanna. He needs to be healthy. If the climate changes, or the prey migrates, or he sprains an ankle, the lion dies. The scavenger is anti-fragile. The scavenger thrives on chaos. When a drought hits the savanna, the lions starve. They die. Do the vultures starve? No. The vultures feast on the dead lions. A crisis for the economy is a banquet for the scavenger. Look at the 2008 crash. Look at the 2020 pandemic. While the establishment, the lions, were panicking and asking for bailouts, the scavengers were buying. They bought real estate for pennies. They bought stocks at the bottom. They started online businesses while everyone else was watching Netflix. When you adopt the scavenger protocol, you stop fearing the bear market. You start praying for it. You realize that a recession is the only time wealth actually changes hands. In a bull market, everyone looks rich. In a bear market, the lions die and the scavengers inherit the earth. But to eat the poison and survive the crash, you need tools. You cannot just walk into a toxic environment naked. You need the digestive enzymes. You need the map of the graveyard. This is where the $260 protocol comes in again. Think of this protocol as your hazmat suit. It allows you to handle radioactive materials, high-risk trends, volatile markets, without getting burned. It teaches you how to separate the signal from the noise. Most people look at a dead trend and see trash. My protocol teaches you how to see the vintage value. Fashion works in 20-year cycles. Music works in cycles. The scavenger uses data to predict when the zombie is about to wake up. He buys the assets before the trend revives. He buys the ugly houses before gentrification hits. He buys the scammy crypto coins after the crash, when everyone hates them, knowing they will pump again. This takes guts. But more importantly, it takes data. You cannot guess. You must know. I am selling you the data. I am selling you the 12 years of pattern recognition that tells you exactly when to eat. If you try to eat the carcass too early, the lion might still be there and kill you. If you try to eat too late, the bones are dry. Timing is everything. The protocol is your stopwatch. Let's talk about the mushrooms. Mushrooms are the ultimate scavengers of the plant world. They grow in shit, literally. They grow in manure, in darkness, in decay. And yet, they are one of the most valuable, nutritious, and medicinal organisms on earth. They turn shit into medicine. This is your job. You're a digital alchemist. You take the shit of the internet, the drama, the failed businesses, the confusing AI tools, and you metabolize them into gold. Products, services, entertainment. Example, a new AI tool comes out. It is buggy. It is hard to use. Everyone hates it. This is the shit. The lion ignores it because it's not perfect. The scavenger dives in. He figures out how to fix the bugs. He figures out the workarounds. Then he sells a course, how to master the AI tool. He creates a wrapper software that makes it easy to use. He turned the problem into a product. He profited from the friction. Whenever you see people complaining, that is not noise. That is a market gap. I hate how hard it is to cancel this subscription. Build a service that cancels subscriptions for you. I hate how ugly these thumbnails are. Build a design agency. The complaints of the herd are the GPS coordinates of your treasure. Stop trying to create delight. Start trying to fix pain. Pain is a much stronger motivator than pleasure. People will pay you to remove a thorn from their foot. They might not pay you for a flower. Be the thorn remover. Be the janitor of the internet. Janitors get paid. Artists get starved. This mindset shift requires you to kill your main character syndrome. You are not the hero of the movie. Heroes have tragic flaws. Heroes die at the end to save the village. You are the narrator. You are the observer. Or better yet, you are the shadow. The most successful scavengers are often anonymous. They run cash cow channels with no face. They run dropshipping stores with no brand loyalty. They run affiliate blogs that look boring but print money. They do not want fame. Fame is a tax. Fame brings scrutiny. Fame brings the IRS. Fame brings the mob. The vulture does not sing like a songbird. The vulture is silent. He comes, he eats, he leaves. Do you want to be famous or do you want to be free? If you want to be free, become the shadow. Use the protocol to build systems that run without your face. Build assets that can be sold. A personal brand is hard to sell. If you get hit by a bus, the business dies. Fragile. A system can be sold. If you die, the system keeps running. Anti-fragile. Build systems. Scavenge assets. Stay invisible. But here is the warning. Scavenging is addictive. Once you start seeing the inefficiencies, you will never see the world the same way again. You will walk into a restaurant and instead of enjoying the food, you will see the waste. Why is that table empty? Why is the menu too big? Why are they not collecting emails? You will see money burning everywhere. This is a burden, but it is also a gift. It is the gift of infinite opportunity. While your friends are complaining about the economy, there are no jobs. You are overwhelmed with opportunity. Look at that dead business. Look at that abandoned trend. Look at that underpriced asset. The world becomes a buffet, but you need a big plate and you need a strong stomach. My protocol gives you both. It gives you the systems to capture the value, the plate, and the mindset to handle the chaos, the stomach. The feast is ready. The lions have left the kill. Why are you still standing there? Why are you still trying to hunt? Put down the spear. Pick up the knife and fork. Dig in. You have the map. You have the tactics. You have the philosophy. But you are still hesitating. Deep down, there is a voice in your head. The voice of your parents, your teachers, your society, screaming, "This is wrong. This is dirty. You should be creating, not taking." This voice is the last line of defense for the lions. It is the psychological fence designed to keep the competition out. To break through this fence, you need a new operating system for your soul. You need the hyena manifesto. This is the code of conduct for the apex scavenger. It is the set of rules that allows you to sleep like a baby while the rest of the world calls you a thief. Law number 1. Zero sentimentality. The lion falls in love with the hunt. He falls in love with the chase. He attaches his ego to the specific buffalo he is tracking. If that buffalo escapes, the lion is devastated. The scavenger has zero attachment. He does not care if the meat is buffalo, zebra, or antelope. He does not care if it is fresh or 3 days old. He cares about one thing: calories. In business, sentimentality is death. I see creators who fall in love with a specific video format. But this is my art. This is my style. The market tells them, we hate this style. Nobody is watching. The lion says, I will persist. They just don't understand me. And he starves. The scavenger says, message received. He drops the format instantly. He looks at what is getting views. He switches. He creates a new channel. He changes his personality. He pivots 180 degrees in 24 hours. He treats his business like a disposable tool, not a baby. If the tool is broken, throw it away. Find a new one. Do not fall in love with the corpse. Eat it or leave it. The ability to detach your emotions from your assets is the superpower of the rich. If a stock goes down, don't pray for it. Sell it. If a trend dies, don't mourn it. Bury it. Your loyalty is to your bank account, not to your past decisions. Law number 2. Speed is hygiene. Why do vultures not get sick? Because they eat fast. If they waited 2 weeks, the bacteria would multiply to lethal levels. Because they arrive within hours, the meat is still safe. In the scavenger economy, speed is safety. When a new trend appears, like a new TikTok format or a new AI tool, there is a window of opportunity. In the first 30 days, it is blue meat. It is pure profit. In days 30 to 60, the masses arrive. It becomes crowded. After 90 days, it is toxic. The market is saturated. The audience is bored. The lion takes months to plan. He has meetings. He does brand strategy. By the time he launches, the trend is dead. The hyena sees the kill and bites immediately. He launches the video the same day. He launches the product the same week. Is it perfect? No. Is it profitable? Yes. Good enough, executed today, is infinitely better than perfect, executed next month. The scavenger protocol, the $260 tool, is designed for velocity. It gives you the templates and the workflows to move at the speed of the internet. If you are slow, you are not a scavenger. You are a victim. You are the guy who buys Dogecoin at the top because you were too slow to see it at the bottom. Don't be the victim. Be the first to the feast. Law number 3. The bone-crushing jaw. Hyenas have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, 100 psi. Stronger than lions. Why? Because they need to crack the bones to get the marrow. The meat, easy money, is eaten by everyone. The marrow, hard money, is left for those with the jaw strength. In business, the meat is the initial view, the initial sale. The marrow is the lifetime value, LTV. Most creators are weak. They get the view and let the viewer leave. The apex scavenger has a jaw, a system. He captures the email. He retargets the user. He sells a second product, a third product, a subscription. He squeezes every single drop of value out of the traffic. He does not leave anything on the table. If you're going to scavenge, you must be thorough. Leaving money on the table is a sin against the scavenger god. Efficiency is worship. Waste is blasphemy. My protocol teaches you how to build the jaw. It teaches you how to set up the back-end systems that crush the bone. Without the jaw, you are just licking the surface. With the jaw, you are fed for life. Law number 4. Laugh at the kings. Hyenas make a sound that sounds like laughter. Biologists say it is a sign of stress or excitement. I believe it is a sign of wisdom. They are laughing at the absurdity of the hierarchy. They look at the lion, covered in scars, stressed, constantly fighting for dominance, and they laugh. Look at him, they say. He thinks he is the king, but he works for us. He kills, and we eat. Who is the real king? You must develop this cynical joy. When you see the gurus talking about passion and purpose and changing the world, laugh. You know the truth. You know that passion doesn't pay the rent. Profit pays the rent. You know that the guy talking about changing the world is usually broke or lying. You are not here to be a messiah. You are here to be a mechanic. You are here to fix the inefficiencies and get paid. This laughter will protect you. It will protect you from the ego trap. It will keep you grounded. While others are trying to build statues of themselves, you are building a vault. Statues crumble, vaults endure. The legacy of the survivor. Finally, let's reframe the concept of legacy. The lions tell you that legacy is about being remembered. They will write songs about me. Who cares? You will be dead. You won't hear the songs. The scavenger knows that true legacy is biological. Legacy is, did your bloodline survive? Did your children start with an advantage? Did you transfer the wealth effectively? The cockroaches have been here for 300 million years. The dinosaurs are gone. Who is the more successful species? The dinosaur was big, loud and majestic, and he is extinct. The cockroach is small, ugly, and hides in the dark, and he is eternal. I want you to be the cockroach. I want you to be the hyena. I want you to survive the meteor. When the economy crashes, when the AI takes over, when the world burns, the lions will die first. They are too big to adapt. You will survive because you know how to eat what others reject, because you are not proud, you are practical. The final invitation. The sun is setting on the era of the genius inventor. The easy problems have been solved. The low-hanging fruit is gone. We are entering the era of the great scavenge, the era of consolidation, the era of optimization. The jungle is full of dead carcasses, failed startups, abandoned channels, forgotten technologies. They are waiting for you. They are waiting for someone with the vision to see the value in the waste. They are waiting for someone with the stomach to digest the poison. They are waiting for you, but you cannot do this with your bare hands. You need the radar to find the carcass. You need the jaw to crack the bone. You need the hazmat suit to survive the toxic environment. I have packaged all of these tools into the $260 protocol. This is your survival kit. Do not let your pride stop you. I don't need help. I'm a lion. Stop lying to yourself. You are not a lion. You are a naked ape in a digital forest, and night is falling. Take the kit. Survive the night. And in the morning, while the lions are licking their wounds, you will be feasting. The choice is yours. Starving nobility or well-fed efficiency. I know what I chose. And if you're smart, I know what you will choose. Welcome to the bottom of the food chain. It's where the real money is.